Sophie was a single parent. She had 2 kids, aged 5 and 7, and she hadn't worked since her first kid was born. After some career coaching sessions, she decided that she wanted to be an assistant jewellery designer. It fit with her interests, her strengths, her personality and her values, and it met her #1 deal breaker, which was working in central London. But when she started looking more closely at the job market, she realised that there weren't many assistant jewellery designer jobs around, and competition for those jobs was really high. How did she find this out? She spoke to people in the industry. These weren't people that she knew. She basically just contacted a few jewellery designers to find out about job openings in that area. She quickly learned that in order to beat the competition for these jobs, she needed to develop her portfolio and also gain a little bit more experience because she hadn't worked for a while. So she went back to the drawing board. She didn't give up on her dream, but she changed her goals slightly. She needed to earn a living somehow to pay the bills, so she decided to get a part-time role as a nanny. This job was completely unrelated to working as an assistant jewellery designer, but nanny jobs were in high demand, so she found work really easily. And this gave her the money that she needed in order to develop her design portfolio. She also contacted several of the jewellery designers in London until one of them offered her a voluntary placement 1 day a week. Through this voluntary placement, she was able to develop her portfolio even further, and she started to develop contacts within the industry. This put her in a perfect position a year later, when she had this experience under her belt and a really good portfolio that she'd developed. She was able to land a role as an assistant jewellery designer. Now, Sophie's story is actually quite common. Sometimes we have to adjust our career goals depending on the job market. So before you finalise your career goal, do some research. If you're not sure how, here's some ideas. #1, look online to see how often these jobs come up. Recruiter websites should give you an idea of how many jobs there are in your area. Some sites also tell you how many applicants there have been for each job, so you get an idea of the competition for each role. #2, if you see a job vacancy, contact the hiring manager. Ask them how much competition there is for the role and what they're really looking for. Sometimes a job advert lists a whole bunch of things, but just like you, employers also have their deal breakers. Find out what they're really looking for and whether you've got it. #3, start networking. This might sound a bit scary, but it basically just means having conversations with people who work in your chosen industry. And this is much easier nowadays thanks to social media. For instance, you can find people in your industry on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Start following them. Find out what they're talking about. If you feel brave enough, then join the conversation or send them a private message if you've got any questions. You'll be amazed at how much people like to talk about themselves if you ask them. It can be a great way to find out more about jobs within your chosen industry. So get out there and start researching. When you've done that, move on to our next video where you're going to start putting your career plan together.